Right, welcome to Football or Soccer, the podcast. It's me, Sam, and Tony today. We've got no Chris. He's stuck in an airport on the way to New York. You two back home. Sam's under the weather.
Yeah.
Tony just got back, I think, to Arizona, haven't you?
About 10 minutes ago, I think. No, it feels like 10 minutes ago. But yeah.
But
And
welcome,
I'm still
welcome
in
back.
Dubai. Yeah, so it feels like I've been away for about 3 years now, I've got to be honest
You're in,
with you.
you're in Dubai with all the footballers.
Everyone's here.
How was that
When on,
Camavinga?
I went and met Camavinga this week, the other day. He was such a lovely guy, I've got to say. Really, really nice guy. Took the time with the kids. Really, I couldn't like just. He was very tall, actually. I was quite
Speaks
surprised at how
English?
tall he was. Perfect English.
Well,
Funny enough, I said to him, "We need you at West Ham," and he went, "Where's that? Birmingham?" And I said, "You what?" And he went,
Did he
I said,
really?
"Not Aston." Yeah, and he said, "I've been to Birmingham once." He said, "Oh, I don't want to go there." So if you're a Villa fan, you definitely ain't getting Camavinga. West Ham fans, we may get him at some point. But no, he was a really nice fella. We actually waited around for him, went and saw him. He signed a couple of shirts for the boys. He get done. Was with his agent, so his agent was with him. So it was nice, really good. But we've had the Global Awards here this week in Dubai. So weirdly enough, I just walked past Callum Wilson um, 2 seconds ago. So every
congratulations.
footballer on the planet is here, basically.
How was Wilson? Didn't he just get injured again?
I don't know. I literally just walked past him and his wife and kids as I was running back here to come and do this.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
So played in a game yesterday actually for the kids. They do this soccer escapes here, which um, is Mark Noble, Bobby Zamora, and Rio Ferdinand's thing, and they put the basically you do your holiday through them, and they do the kids soccer school and all that. We played in the dad's game this week, and we had Jody and Lescott on our team, and Pablo Zabaleta was on the other team. Pablo Zabaleta wasn't one of the coaches there either, but his kids going there. So we played in the dad's game. We lost. We were winning the whole way. It was winning 2-0 the whole way, and we ended up losing 3-2. We ran out of steam. I was so
Yeah.
we're all dads limping around the pool today. So it's like it was all.
Except for Zabaleta.
He was
I'm
fit.
sure
I'll
he was
tell you what,
still
he was
I'm
still
sure,
fit.
I'm sure he was still crunching people.
We've just lost your webcam, Tom.
Yeah, I
Um,
know. I saw
but
that.
the yeah, no, he was all right. It was and Lescott was good. They're really nice. They put it on really nice for the kids as well. So if you're looking for anywhere for your kids to go on holiday, I highly recommend Football Escapes. And I've got to say, Bobby Zamora, he runs it there, and he really looks after us. I've got to say, he's messaged me every day, seeing if we're doing all right and if we need anything. So big thank you to them lot. But we've had a lot of football.
I'm sorry.
No.
No, we're running through technology at the minute, and we're better off. You've got a face for the radio anyway, so it's good. And as we're rolling into the football, I really don't want to see you at the minute after last
Yeah,
night
I
anyway.
was going to say
Um,
that gloating Scouser over there.
yeah, it's been a great Christmas for West Ham,
Okay, is it
and
connected now?
it's
Yes.
on. You're on. Um, it's it's been a great Christmas for West Ham and Spurs. That has been my only bit of relief is that Spurs are as bad as us. Manchester United as well. We are one and the same club now. I think all three of us.
Yes.
Um, Been bad, isn't it?
What happened to
Who?
the boys yesterday?
Which three? Which
West
three are the
Ham,
same
Man
club?
United, and Spurs. Basically,
Oh
we are
yeah, they're
all
all
the same
shit.
club
Yeah,
this
yeah,
year.
yeah,
Complete,
yeah,
utter drivel. I've
yeah.
watched West Ham. To be honest, with you, I've not wanted to watch 1 minute of West Ham at all. They're so bad. Um, but Liverpool look good. It's kind of Groundhog Day for us on this podcast at the minute because it is just literally
Yeah,
Liverpool
so
keep
far.
rolling through.
Hmm.
City of keep messing up. Okay, they got the win last night against Leicester.
Chelsea,
Chelsea
we had a slip
faltered.
up. Yeah, we had a slip up. That wasn't good.
Yeah, it's not been. It looks like Liverpool. No one's going to catch them. I know it looks good, like they've just beat West Ham 5-0, but West Ham, we've got
What are we
very
at?
poor.
We're at 50%.
Yeah,
We're at 50.
Yeah,
We're the halfway point.
we're halfway through, and you
Yeah.
got 9 points on 9 points on Arsenal. So technically, you've played 22 games. Let's just say. So
Arsenal, I think, are playing tomorrow. I think
uh, they play Brentford on New Year's Day. We
New Year's Day.
Chelsea play Ipswich today, and there's one more game today as well. I forget who it is, but we play Ipswich about 11:30 today, so that should be interesting.
It's quite hard keeping
Is
up with
it
the
a
football
home or
over
away,
this
Sam?
period.
We're away at Portman Road.
Away. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they need a win, Ipswich.
They do. Well,
They need a result, I should say. They
well,
need a result.
they were unlucky against Arsenal. I actually watched.
Yeah,
that.
they were. Yeah.
I mean, Arsenal without Saka were like a different force, and I think they were there. They weren't. I wouldn't say they were there for the taking Arsenal, but to get just a 1-0 win against a team near bottom of the bottom of the table. I mean, they were a little unfortunate, Ipswich. So I'll be interested to see. Bearing in
On
mind
the flip side to that, though,
yeah,
if you win over Christmas, that's all you need to do.
yeah, that's
Like,
right.
because what Chelsea's done, slipped up. Arsenal's won both games over Christmas. Liverpool's won both games so far over Christmas. That's all you need to do. If you can, because I always think this time of the year, it's not the best football, is it? It's actually, everyone gets a bit tired. You get a few injuries. It's kind of just getting through it almost
It's a bit
without injuries and kind of just keep the winning going. I think that kind of Arsenal Ipswich game was a typical one where they could have slipped, like Chelsea did the other day.
I know. I was hoping they would. I was hoping they would, but Kai Havertz keeps popping up at times for them, doesn't he? Keeps putting there.
Yeah,
He does, doesn't he? Which
He
is
does.
surprising because we all think he's terrible. But he
well, they
does
did
keep
when they
popping up
signed,
with
didn't
the
he?
goods.
He's been a great signing for Arsenal, I think.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he's been a good signing. I mean, he definitely is. I'd say he's a little inconsistent still, but whether he ever breaks that 20 goal a season barrier or not will be interesting to see. But at Chelsea, he was definitely.
Yeah.
I was delighted when Chelsea bought him, but he was just one of those guys that we just never really found his true position, and
that is kind of it with him, isn't it? It's like he's not a striker.
No,
He's one of them players that will probably play his whole career never playing in his actual position.
yeah.
Like Joe Cole.
Well, I'd say, yeah. Well, Joe Cole. I mean, Joe Cole was what a talent he was. I'd say he was definitely more skillful and probably a better natural talent than Kai Havertz was.
I mean, as never playing his actual position. Joe Cole never played as a number 10.
Yeah,
that's exactly what he was.
Joe Cole
left
always
wing,
got put on where people
number
needed him to be on.
Yeah, he was always flipped around, Joe Cole. To be fair, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
Like he never actually, like if he'd have played in this day and age, he actually probably would have been. He's the perfect number 10. He would have played as a number 10 today.
Yeah.
Is there a number 10 though? Is there a number 10 in the Joe Cole style today that exists? I'm not sure there is.
Phil Foden.
Yeah, I'd say maybe James Maddison.
Yeah, that's
like
actually.
No, he's a much better player than Madison.
Yes, but Madison's
much
still
better
that skillful. Like, yeah, he was much better than Madison, but he's just like that kind of number 10, quite skillful. Like, can pop up with the odd occasional thing here and there. I'd say, I mean, I don't know what's happened to him this season, but Paquetá, like, he's a good number 10.
Oh my God, he was terrible yesterday. Do you know what? I was on the flight back yesterday, and I got the Wi-Fi to watch the game. You know, on the flight, and British Airways, by the way, thank you for stealing £30 from me for the first half because I could get none of the first half, but I watched the second half, and it was I was looking at Paquetá and how much was City willing to pay for him?
85, they were saying.
He's not worth 8.5 now.
No.
I saw an article on him today that said they think it could be the first registered 0 out of 10 performance. How bad he was.
And by the way, yesterday, I know we'll probably get to the game yesterday, but it wasn't just him. There were times when Liverpool were winning, this is in the second half, we were winning 4-0. And the Liverpool centre-halves were literally just standing there with the ball.
It was like a testimonial game.
It was
you could take 5 players off and won 5-0. It was absolutely outrageous.
It was also the atmosphere in the stadium that made it look like it sound like a testimonial because they gave up. And listen, I don't necessarily blame them for giving up, but the West Ham fans, I think, let the team down a little bit yesterday as much as the let the...
Tone, I've got to disagree. We've watched that. every game so far this season. We have not
But I
had one
mean,
game. Against Newcastle was the only game we've played well. That is the mood there at the moment. That is what we're
yeah,
watching
no, I
every
can
week. You
understand
cannot
that.
cheer for that.
I can no, no.
It's
I'm not
complete
saying
garbage.
you can cheer for it. I'm not saying that they should be singing crazy songs for it. But a lot of them left the stadium
Most
on about an hour.
They were leaving at half
most
time.
people have. Yes, most people have left at halftime every game.
Yeah, but that's fucking
Boys,
terrible,
I've got to just.
Sam.
Do you know what? Someone's just called. Can we just stop this just right here? Half time,
Yeah, go
leaving
on.
it. Yeah, you can't ask fans to stay in there and support the team when it is that bad. You honestly, it's. I can't even. It's funny. I've supported West Ham 41 years. I've seen some bad times at West Ham, but never have I ever. I do not want to watch 1 minute of West Ham. It's really hard for me at the minute. I don't enjoy one thing that they do. And I just,
So
if it's that way, you've got to get rid of the man.
Sam, before this, what was the second worst time?
Avram Grant, when he took us down.
Did you stay then?
Yeah, you did, but it's
So
like
what was the
actually,
difference then
I can
between
remember
then and
going home
now?
at half time. I remember leaving before half time, and that it was just so bad. But this is so bad. Like there is, you watched it, right? So Liverpool
I
were
watched
in
the second half.
first gear against us.
No,
They're
second
not
half
even.
was a walk in the park for Liverpool.
It was a walking pace, the game. It was like,
Yeah.
what West Ham fans want is at least a team that's going to run around. That was none of it. But you've got to look at the manager. He started, our best player is our right back. Well, he started left back. Left back started left wing. Somerville wasn't even in the team. You just look and go like, what are you even doing? Emerson's playing left wing when you've got Somerville on the bench, and then Kudos, who usually plays, is on the right. Wan-Bissaka's playing left back. It's just like, why would you play him left back?
You know what I will
You've
say?
got two left backs in the team.
You know what I'll say though about that game yesterday in the first half. Again, as we've said a million times on the show, football is about a game of margins and like sometimes inches. When Liverpool were 1-0 up, would it have probably changed the result? No. But if that Kudos shot that hit the post had gone in, it would have been 1-1.
But what you've got to say is though that was a shot out of absolutely nothing. You know, like it was. He created it, and that's.
It might not have changed the end result. You still might have lost 4 or 5-1, but it would have been 1-1. But within 2 seconds of that ball hitting the post, Gapco had put the ball in the net. It was 2-0, and then it was done. And then it was done. So,
but this is, I think, the 8th or 9th time this year that we conceded 4 or more goals. Like we're at home.
That sounds a lot like Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah.
Well, just bearing in mind, right? Last year we didn't have a very good defensive record, right? So we were bought in to bolster the defense because we was leaking goals everywhere. We've signed 2 centre halves and a right back, and we've let in more goals than anyone.
That Tadibo and Mavropanos are useless.
Tadibo is. People keep telling me he's a player. All I see him is walk around. He looks like he's got no heart whatsoever. Mavropanos is a League One player. How he's even got at the Premiership level, I don't even know.
Who was the guy you signed from PSG? Timo Kehrer. God, he was even worse, wasn't he?
Yeah, but do you know what? I saw a stat the other day about him. He's at Monaco, and I think his stats are that he's one of the best defenders in Europe on stats.
Yeah, but Monaco
and the other one, Agard as well. Like blocks, tackles, things like that. I think he was #1 leading defender in Europe. And Monaco are doing well wherever he is at. But he wasn't cut out for the Premiership.
Yeah, the Premiership's really different. It's a very different league than any league, isn't it? Did you see, slightly going off subject, did you see Cristiano Ronaldo say the Saudi league is better than the French league?
Yeah.
Well, I thought Ronaldo, he came out with a few, and obviously he's here to promote the UAE, like an Arabic football, things like that. But I've actually thought his comments against Rodri.
Yeah, it was
I thought they were,
wasn't it?
I thought it was really, really disrespectful.
Yeah.
Thought it was rude, saying Vinicius Junior. And look, it was like I suppose the other day it was the Real Madrid awards, like that they done it, the Globe Awards. Like Bellingham won, did he? Like Rodri didn't even win one award, which was actually pathetic. I think.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
like our
It was
Screw
almost
You
to make a
awards.
point. Almost that
I actually
they
was
were
weird. Like I
trying to make
felt
a
like
point.
I thought it was weird of Ronaldo to really sort of try and disrespect the Ballon d'Or, something that he's won so many times. And he even said, "Oh, it's happened to me a few times as well." Like, well, mate, you were up against
No, it
Messi.
hasn't. Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
um,
He,
I
he,
thought
it,
he
was-
sounded a bit of a prick, actually.
I think so too.
What he
But
said to
it was
Rodri.
almost like he gone there to make a point, and I don't. But it was like 5 different points, so I don't even know what the point was that he was trying to make. But he went there to be controversial, I suppose.
He
To
did, without a
hit the
doubt, and I
numbers
think
in
he got
the
us everyone
online
talking
stuff.
about him
Yeah,
and
yeah,
Arabic like and UAE football, and so
yeah.
look, I don't doubt he was paid a lot of money to go there and probably say twist a knife in something. That's what it looked like to me. Um, if I was Rodri, I would have actually come out and I would have
I
said
don't
like,
think it's his style, mate. Is it? Like
it's
it's not
not.
everyone's
But you know, if
style
that
to
was
hit back.
me, I'd have come out and said, I hear what
We
you're
know
all
what would
saying.
happen if it was you.
No, I would have just said, you know what? I hear what you're all saying. Trust me, when I come back, I'm going to show you who's the boss. Like
Yeah,
you're all
but you
messing
can't
about.
say
I've
that
got to
when
play
you've
all
had
you.
an injury like he's got. He can't be sure he's going to come back and show everyone who's the boss. That's a heavy injury to have at his age, at his at
Yeah,
his stage in the career. Like I don't think he'd even be
I
sure
just
that
thought
he's
that
going
was
to come
so.
back.
I actually, I really like Cristiano, but I thought it was really disappointing. Actually, what he said.
Yeah,
I thought it was
it
really
just
bad form.
it was almost Joey Barton-esque.
Yeah,
It was something that he was above, and I
I
just
think
thought,
so too. I think so too. Yeah, yeah.
imagine someone had come out and said that about him at the time. Imagine R9 had come out and said, "Yeah, Cristiano shouldn't have won them." Things like that on a live stage like that.
Yeah.
Just you've worked your whole life. I think you've got to be a little bit of decorum. I think you can have an opinion, of course, but it felt like to me it wasn't his real opinion. It was maybe a paid for opinion,
No, I think
and
it
a
was
little
his
bit
real
Real
opinion.
Madrid,
I don't think he
opinion.
needs to get paid for his opinions these days. I think it was his real opinion, but I've never seen when I saw the clips because after the game yesterday, after the Liverpool West Ham game, I had the Wi-Fi on the plane, so I was pretty much scrolling for about 6 hours, and it was the most depressing 6 hours of my life, honestly. But I saw all of his little quips, all of his little quotes, and I was like, I've never seen Cristiano Ronaldo do this before. What's going on? Like because what he was saying was ridiculous. Like you say, I think he's above it. I think he's above that stuff. He's too good. He's too special as
Yeah,
of a
that's what I
footballer to
felt with it.
be getting involved in that stuff. It'd be like David Beckham doing an interview with the Sun. It would never happen.
And also,
He's
look,
above
even
it.
the League One stuff, right? The way he was being, to be honest with you, if you're playing League One, it's like really disrespectful to you unless you play for PSG. Like saying, like none of you could even get in this team. Rubbish. Like, and it's a rubbish league.
Yeah.
It just didn't need to say it. It's not. It's not. I don't know. It's not nice. It's not good as an ambassador of football
No,
to
it's
talk
not.
like that.
It's disrespectful for a start, but also the reason that he was using how the Saudi league is somehow better than League One,
And it's only saying it because he's being
French League
paid
One.
200 mil to play in it.
Probably,
yeah.
yeah, of
Because let me tell
course,
you,
yeah,
he
yeah, yeah.
wouldn't be there
Because if
without
he
being
was
paid 200
paying,
mil.
yeah, if he was being paid 200 mil to play in the French league, he'd be saying the exact opposite, wouldn't he? But
If he had the chance
I
to go France or Saudi for 200 mil,
exactly,
I know
yeah,
exactly where
exactly.
he'd be going.
There would be no
France.
question. There'd be no question
Yeah.
about it. But one of the reasons he used why the Saudi league was, he even said easily. He said easily it's better. He said you try and run 100 meters in 40 degrees, which is fair
Which
enough.
is a fair point. Yeah.
But that doesn't make one league better than the other just because the country's hotter than the other league. You know, the reasons he was using were ridiculous. I was disappointed in him. I was disappointed.
Yeah, I was. I thought he looked a bit of a tit. I've got to be honest with you, like with it, and I did. The Rodri thing really annoyed me. Actually, I just thought it was thought it was rude.
The ironic thing about Ronaldo in Saudi is he still hasn't won anything out there because that Al Hilal team are smashing everything up. The ones that have got Mitrovic, Neymar, and Ruben Neves.
Mane? Is Mane there or is he somewhere else?
Mane plays with Ronaldo at his team.
Does he?
Yeah. He's with there. I mean, listen, Saudi has got some. It's got some very good players that could easily walk back. Yeah. That could easily walk back into Premier League football. Like who?
Ivan Toney.
Yeah, Ivan Toney could come back.
Ivan Toney, actually, yeah, good point. Yeah,
Ivan Toney don't even start.
But who else though? Ronaldo couldn't. Ronaldo couldn't. Mane couldn't. Neymar couldn't.
Laporte, Mikalenkovic. I mean, there are teams that would probably take Kante now that he's fit and playing football again.
He's 35.
How old's Kante these days, Sam?
I think
he's 35.
Younger than that. He's 33 or 34, Kante. But even still, you would take him as a squad player if someone needed
West
him.
Ham wanted to take him this year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They did, didn't they?
Mitrovic, who's been banging the goals in left, right, and centre.
Listen, there's a few all right players out there, but as I say,
Fabinho,
they are coming to the end.
No, Fabinho. No, Fabinho was on his arse at Liverpool in his last season.
You reckon?
Never mind now. Oh, he was. I know he was. Yeah,
but they've done well.
Fabinho was
getting this league together.
Of course they have. Yeah, absolutely. I just don't know how they're gonna. I mean, I don't know. We're probably going way off script here, but I just don't know how the Saudi league will ever be able to come within a million miles of the Premier League, or even may I say League Un, or is it Un? Or it's League Un. Even the French league. The French league's a million miles ahead of them. So yeah, going back to Ronaldo is a ridiculous statement to make.
Keep it shut and move on. Retire. 100 mil.
He's going to be 40. It's crazy. To think that we've.
Listen, we're not going anything. Yeah, he's just above what he said. And I just thought it was
he's
silly.
Above it. Yeah.
I want to discuss Tottenham Hotspur because they have, like West Ham. Do you know what is so funny? We were watching it again last night. We had two Spurs fans with us. One of them my brother-in-law and another one.
I was going to ask, how's he feeling about it all?
So they're over it. They hate Ange. But it was funny. We had West Ham fan and Spurs fans. A couple of Man United fans there as well, Arsenal and all that. But without a doubt, what made it so funny is Spurs fans are so deluded. It is unreal. Like, whereas West Ham, we were going, I'm not looking forward to tonight. We're going to get beat. I actually said we're going to get beat 5 or 6-0 tonight, without a doubt, because I know how bad we are. So there was no surprise. Spurs are playing Wolves. Obviously, go goal down. They get one back, and it's like all back on. Yeah, like giving it some. And then I've seen it when they're 2-1 up. I see my brother-in-law having a look at the league, and my mate goes, he's
seeing how far they were from
the
top
points from top 4, right? So they, like they're having a go, and then when that second goal went in, like the 2-2, we jumped up, the pub erupted. Tottenham get battered everywhere they go, and everyone was laughing. The Spurs fans, they were like distraught, going, he's got to go, this fucking bastard. And then they left the pub. They didn't even stay for the Liverpool West Ham game. They said, I'm going, like that. But it was just so funny that they still believe that they might be a few wins away from top 4, but their team is pretty poor.
Yeah. He's just a gung-ho footballer, and we keep saying he's only got one way of playing. And I mean, the fact that when Son missed that penalty yesterday, you just knew it wasn't going to happen. Like, even he looked nervous for a guy that's normally so composed.
But it's funny that the Spurs fans, it's weird that I was sitting with, they've kind of turned on Son.
Yeah, he's been terrible.
They hate Brennan Johnson, who I think is weird because he's their top scorer.
Yeah.
And actually, to me, he looks like, but they say he can't pass, he can't do this, get him off. They're constant about Brendan Johnson. They love Kulusevski, and it was funny. All game, I'm going, what club do you reckon he's going to go to? Like, do you reckon he'll go to a big club? And they're like, he's not going anywhere. We are a massive club. And, like, they're so out of it that they do think that they are a massive club.
Listen, they're not a small club,
completely numbered there.
They're not a small
No, but they've never done nothing.
No, the only thing Tottenham claim to be the best at is they got the best.
Do you know what though? Very few clubs have ever done anything though.
It's true.
Have they? Like, we'll say
only a
Spurs
handful
have
of
never
clubs.
done anything. Yeah, there's been obviously Liverpool, Manchester United. We can put City in there now, just about.
Everton.
I think. No.
Everton have won the league, haven't they?
They've won the league, yeah. They've won it a few times, but it was 45
That's what I mean. So, like,
years
historically,
ago,
they've done some stuff.
yeah, historically,
but not actually.
Yeah.
If you look at
Chelsea
Premier League,
and,
no, in the Premier League, there's only a few people that have done it.
There's very few. I mean, I know also like it's not just about winning the league, right? Because I would say Tottenham are a bigger club than Leicester. Leicester have won the league. Spurs are a bigger club than them. So it's not just about winning
Leicester
the league.
in the Premier League years have won the FA Cup and the thing. Tottenham have only won a League Cup and they Premier League.
I know, but
unless they won the Coca-Cola Cup, didn't they, years ago as well?
Oh yeah, so Leicester have actually won 3.
Oh, they won against Liverpool.
That teams like
did they beat Liverpool?
No, they beat.
Not sure. Matt Elliott years, wasn't it?
Oh no, we won against Tottenham. But anyway,
they did beat Tottenham. I'm pretty certain they beat Tottenham.
And then
what I'm saying is, you can't just manage. You can't just judge the size of a club based on if they've won the league or not, because there's Preston North End have won the league. Obviously back.
No, but if you look at Premier League years,
we're talking Premier League years. So there's only 6 teams that have won the Premier League, like Blackburn.
Yeah, but Premier, I don't like that Premier.
No, I'm talking about trophies in the Premier League, right? Like just trophies, right? I'm actually agreeing with your point. There's actually very few clubs that have actually won. Weirdly, I bet Leicester's actually won. Now we've just said them 3 trophies: a league, an FA Cup, and a thing in different areas as well. Like in the Premier League years, there's not many that have done that.
No, and they won a Community Shield.
Like, out of the big ones, you know what I mean? Like West Ham's never won a trophy. Spurs have won one League Cup.
Sam, I thought you said the big ones. You started with West Ham. I thought you said the big clubs, but you started with West Ham. Now confused.
No, I'm saying about the Premier League clubs that have never done anything. Newcastle never won a trophy in Premier League years. Yeah, West Ham never won a trophy Premier League years. Aston Villa.
They won.
Not sure if they've.
They won the 1993 League Cup, didn't they? So that
Sam, how the fuck do you know when Aston Villa won the League Cup? You
my football knowledge.
Who was that? Savo Milosevic.
I would not have gotten that in 15 guesses.
I think they actually beat Liverpool, didn't they?
I don't know. Savo Milosevic team, I think, wasn't it?
1993. Let me have a look.
In the final, not in the final. Not in the final.
So that's what I mean. So Villa, a big club again, only 1 trophy in the whole Premier League years. There's a lot of big clubs that have never, and yet Leicester have won both cups. It's funny, isn't it? Like you're right. Yeah. There's very few teams that actually win the trophies.
Yeah. Aston Villa United 3-1 in the final.
United was it?
Yeah, 3-1 in the final, 1993-94.
Dwight York score.
What I'm saying, going back to Spurs, is that you can't really. They're still a big club. I mean, they're still a big club. They're not a huge club. They're not on a, even in the top 20.
They definitely should be doing better what they're doing.
Why though?
And Dean Saunders.
Why should they be doing better?
Daley Atkinson and Dean Saunders.
Remember Daley and
Dean
Atkinson?
Saunders, great player. Dean Saunders.
Yeah.
No, I think they should be doing better. They should be doing better than 13th in the league or wherever they are.
Oh yeah. This season
is what I'm saying.
Sure, they should be. Yeah.
Like they should be doing better when they've got the best training ground, the best ground in the Premier League, right? So them two, they've got the best 2 things there. They've got a good squad, but I know they're missing players. They're missing a lot of players now.
Tell me this,
their recruitment.
Do you think it's the manager? Do you think it's the manager? I don't, I don't.
I think there's a problem with the club. I think the fans are a big problem with it. Which
it's
is
the
funny.
a lot of it as well.
It's funny. You look at. I always say, I think, and I put City in this before the money. I've always said City, like Everton, West Ham, Spurs, Newcastle. We're all the same club. A club that's never won anything really, but big
But
support and
but big
actually
clubs
all.
though, big clubs.
Yeah, big
Joking aside, I
supported
know I joked
clubs.
about it
Big
earlier,
support.
but big clubs. Yeah.
That's what do you know what Pablo Zabaleta said it to me yesterday actually. We was walking out because I was saying it's funny when he walked up to me I said West Ham legend and he laughed because obviously he must not like hear that too much like because he finished at West Ham. And he was really good with us and he said I was really surprised at that club when I went there at the how big it actually was. He said that stadium was 65,000 seats. He said he said before I went there I didn't think that they'd even have that amount of fans to even remotely get close to filling it. And he said, but you filled it every week. He said, I didn't realize until, and a lot of players say that, they said, they don't realize how big this club is without it winning anything or really knowing about it before I get there.
You know those clubs that you just reeled off there, Sam? What do you think makes because like we just said, they haven't really won anything, really,
No.
Especially recently. What do you think still makes them big clubs? Because I'm convinced of why it is, but I'm interested in what you both think because it's not because they have a lot of fans. It's not because they come from an area of the country or whatever that that promotes going to the match. But I think what I think it is, it's the fans' expectations, and they don't settle for third best. They might settle for second best, but they don't settle for third best. Where I think a lot of clubs, their fans do settle, and they're like, okay, well, I suppose we're just not that big. The expectations are not high enough in a lot of clubs to keep them at a big club level, even though they're not winning things.
And I would put Brighton and Brentford in that bracket.
No,
I wouldn't say that. I'd
no,
say
if they were in League Two
and where
now,
it's all
their
going and
fans
everything
would
like
still
that, rather
be
than.
I'd say teams like Brighton and Brentford. I mean, Brighton, they for me, I love their owner, Tony Bloom. I think,
Tony Bloom, super.
What an owner he is. I mean, he is just like the calls that he's made, the people that he's brought in, just like he's consistent. I mean, look at their last three coaches that they brought in. Graham Potter, no one knew who he was. They brought him in from Norway, and he started that really good run that they came on. Then they got De Zerbi, another one that nobody had ever heard of, and he kind of elevated them to another good level. And now they've got that, what's his name? Harsner, I forget,
Hurstler,
that's it. He's another one, just like...
Brighton are the best.
But I think their fans may be a little bit more of what you're saying, the happy-go-lucky era of fan.
They're just happy to be there, is what I'm saying. With the likes of Brighton and Brentford, they're just happy to be there. Where West Ham fans,
Fulham,
Newcastle fans, Spurs fans, they're not just happy to be there.
Everton
as well. Yeah. They're in the same.
I wonder. Do you know what? You've posed a good question there because I wonder why, especially in this day and age, like you're a kid. I suppose a lot of them fans are born into it as well. So if your dad's a West Ham fan or a Spurs fan or an Everton fan, you will probably naturally be given that team at birth. Because why would a kid who lives in London support West Ham
when they could support Chelsea
or Spurs or Arsenal?
You say that. I mean, there's all. If you remember when we were growing up as kids, like, unless it was born into you, like how it was with us, how we've always kind of supported our teams. I always remember being in school in the 90s and half the kids in London supported Man United because Man United were the best team around. Then you go into the 2000s and it kind of became Chelsea was the cool team to support because we had the money and so on and so forth. Now it's become City almost. Like when I see Like
In
when I look at
London, there's a lot of kids in London who support City.
I think maybe
yeah,
where you're from, Sam, but
Really?
not where we're from.
I've seen like when I see like some of my like Northwest London pals, like they're on vacation right now. Like half of their kids are running around with city tops on,
Oh my
and
God.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And who do your mates support though? Obviously, they don't support
Tottenham,
City.
like the parents support like Tottenham, or they support
I'd have
United.
to I'd have to drop my kid off at the airport and say, keep that City kit, son, because you're gonna have to sell it to feed yourself. I'll see you later.
Correct. They're all running around. They're all running around in city tops, and they're all running around in Miami FC tops with
Oh yeah,
Messi.
that's
Miami,
different
yeah.
though, because that's a different country.
I know it is.
That I can understand.
See, I'm like that as well. Like I just went and bought James last week. It's an unbelievable kit. It's an luminous yellow Barcelona one. Like it's the luminous
Yeah.
green. So it must be like their second or third kit
It's
or
their
something.
away
I'm
kit, I
okay
think.
with having that. Matt, I'm
Yeah.
okay with him. With
But
Barcelona
you would never
and
buy
we've
him
got
an
Real
Arsenal
Madrid.
kit or a Spurs
Not
kit,
a
would you?
chance. He wouldn't be able to wear that.
No,
No, it's
no,
as simple as
exactly.
that.
Yeah, it's different. Like I think we all like. Actually, one of my first kits that was not a Liverpool kit when I was a kid was a Spurs kit, the yellow Holston kit. Remember that?
I didn't.
Oh, your parents must have really hated you.
And then the Celtic kit, the
It's weird. An
CR.
Everton family giving out a Spurs kit.
Fuck off, no, but
Yeah,
these the and then a Juventus kit as well with Platini on the back. But anyway, the foreign stuff, I suppose Spurs is a little bit different when you're from the north, and it's pretty much a foreign place anyway. London, isn't it, from Liverpool? But I wouldn't mind the foreign stuff at all. But if I had a kid and he said or she said, I want to support Man City, it would probably be a life-changing day for mostly for the kid because they'd have new parents.
but it is funny with like where you come back to it, like why kids now support teams like West Ham and Spurs and things like that, especially with the internet now, and like because like as you say, we supported them because they were local, right? So your dad or your uncle could take you there. It was the closest to you. You lived near it or whatever like that. And that's really, and all your mates probably supported it because it was your more local team. But actually, with the internet now, as you say, it's not localized really anymore. And there is loads of like United fans and Liverpool fans and City
That's
fans
true.
within London and in the school system. It's weird how the teams, it shows how strong, obviously, parents obviously are on giving their kids their team. Because why would anyone support West Ham or Tottenham? That it's weird, isn't it? You would never choose that, would you? Or Everton, especially living in Liverpool. What on earth would you be an Everton fan for?
No, I mean not unless you're not unless you were. I mean, but it's not even a question. It's not even a question. Like why on earth would you be an Everton fan? Because your dad or your family are all Everton fans. Why would you be a Liverpool fan for exactly the same reason? I think in certain places it's not even a question. It's not a
Yeah.
question. Like my little brother's son, mad football fan. He plays football for about 3 different teams a week. Um, he's got all the Barcelona kits, all the Inter Miami stuff, all the stuff that most kids have. He would never, ever in a million years have a Man City kit or, God forbid, a Man United kit or anything like that. It would just never happen. Arsenal, even, nothing. So it just is what it is. I think we're born into it now, whereas sorry, we were born into it then, whereas now people are not necessarily born into it. They just like Messi. They like Ronaldo. They like Neymar. Um, they like Bellingham.
We've said this before. I think kids now are definitely fans of players rather than teams. Because like
Players,
my
yeah.
boy knows loads of players' names,
To be
but
fair,
he doesn't even know what
when
team
we
they
were growing
play
up as
for.
kids, I used to have the Inter Milan R9 shirt. I used to have the Rivaldo Barcelona shirts. So I can see how it's kind of transferred, obviously, into the Messis and the Neymars and the Ronaldos these days.
Well, and
But yeah,
kits now are like high fashion, aren't they? They're so cool. The kits
what
now.
the crazy. I mean, do you remember when we were growing up as kids? Like this was before football had really been truly commercialized. Like we only used to get a kit once every 2 seasons.
2 seasons.
Now you get 3 every single year.
Well, and you get some released like mid-year as well.
But not just that, you also get 3 different types of shirts you can get. You can get the replica, you can get the half replica, that the ones that they wear, and then you get the one for like $400, whatever it is.
Isn't that bananas? Isn't that
just
crazy? Like, it's like, this is the replica. Basically, it's made out of something that if it catches fire, it's going to kill everyone in your family.
Yeah.
And then you get the one that's halfway. And then you get the one like, no, this is exactly the same as what Salah wears.
Yeah. But it's going to cost £400.
It's going to cost, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's so expensive now. It's unreal.
Having his name on it or anything like that. And now you get all the badges.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
so
crazy.
You got to go and get all that. And then you get the European style shirt if you're in Europe, because it's got the Europe patches on. It's a different shirt. And it's got something else on it. It hasn't got the sponsor on it. It hasn't got this on it because it's a gambling company. It is funny. It's like
the kids' shirts are not allowed to have the gambling companies
betting.
on, are
they?
No.
Yeah. Do they?
So West Ham ones, because we're Betway, they don't have any of it.
They don't have it on the kids. I like it without the sponsors on it. It
looks much better.
It looks much better. But are there any clubs now that is in the Premier League that have alcohol, or has that been banned as the sponsor?
No, I don't think you're allowed it anymore, is it?
It's banned.
Bad. And
it's only a matter of time before the gambling's banned as well. And it's actually outrageous how much they push that the gambling companies in the Premier League across.
I think gambling's got nearly the whole of the Premier League.
I think they've got too much of a monopoly on it. They've got so many. Like, I mean, you look at like Newcastle, you look at West Ham.
Obviously, no, actually, Brighton is American Express, isn't it?
Yeah.
But Tony Bloom has made his fortune from founding gambling companies, didn't he? Which is kind of ironic.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's where, I mean, he's an amazing businessman, but that's where he got his money.
What's funny, you used to have loads of alcohol, didn't you? You used to have Carlsberg, obviously.
Yeah, Carlsberg. That's what made me think of it.
White and McKay.
McEwen's.
Newcastle Brown Ale.
Remember White
at Chelsea.
Had White and McKay.
Was White and McKay? Was that booze? Was
Holston?
Whiskey.
Holston.
Yeah.
Chelsea, another one.
Coors.
Yeah, Coors. Tone said
Coors
that.
At Chelsea. Yeah.
Brown out for Newcastle, didn't you? You had loads of
Carlsberg at Liverpool.
Yeah.
What's that?
Weren't Liverpool Carlsberg at one point on the show?
Yeah, Carlsberg. If Carlsberg, what was the thing? If Carlsberg did football teams, it would, because Carlsberg's advertising thing was if Carlsberg did Saturdays, if Carlsberg did Christmases, it'd be the best Christmas ever, essentially.
Wasn't Boddington?
It was good, to be fair.
I remember right.
Who?
Boddington's.
I might have done some.
Boddington.
I remember the advert. That was with Melanie Sykes, wasn't it?
Oh, with the old horse in face.
And the old flake.
No.
Do you want a flake with that, mate?
The ice cream van.
Yeah, and she goes, do you want a flake with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Big around the lips, didn't he? But that was Boddington's, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was the Boddington's wasn't it?
Boddington's what?
It was the Boddington's cow. They had like the yellow cartoon or something, if I remember right.
It was yellow Boddington's, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Because I had that in my head. But yeah, but it is funny how it's all changed. What do we think's gonna? We've got some games. You know, I haven't even looked at what games coming up at this point of the year. There's a game every single day. You can't even keep up with what's going on. Looks like Liverpool coming out of it strong. Do we see who have Liverpool got next?
We've got mate, I don't even know.
It's funny, you know. You just look. You kind of actually lose a bit of interest in it.
I know. As soon as I'll see it, I'll know it. But off the top of my head, we've got.
Your camera's gone. There you go. You're back. It went off and came back.
I'm just looking here now. We've got Man United, Newcastle coming up.
Oh, Liverpool have got Man United. The game after next.
You're kind of the end of that is the last game of kind of Christmas, isn't it? The 5th of January. I'm looking at it here. Brighton, Arsenal. We've got Man City, West Ham, Palace, Chelsea.
Next game's Man United. It's Man United.
You haven't got one to the 5th. I think you are. You're the last game, pretty much of the. You got Wolves, Forest on the 7th. How good are Forest doing?
Unbelievable.
Did you see
Crazy,
their goal
isn't it?
yesterday?
Second in the league.
I know.
Second in the league as of speaking today. Can they continue it and get in top 4?
I don't think so.
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
I don't know.
No.
I mean, if
It's
they finish anywhere in the European places, I think that's an unbelievable year for them.
Brilliant.
Agreed, yeah.
Anywhere in the
But
top 7.
They're really pushing at the minute. Obviously, I think you're going to see City are well out of it. They were poor yesterday.
Out of
They were, but they
league,
were just playing an absolute dog shit side.
Yeah, Leicester are terrible.
It was a mad job from Van Nistelrooy to take that because he had a little bit of stock high with Man United, and he's all of a sudden he's taken that. He'll probably never get another job ever in England ever again.
No. It's crazy. Do you know what? Do you know what's actually amazing? How so many of these footballers that we used to think were just like incredible when we were growing up as kids, not one of them can make that transition into management. I mean, look at Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney's about to get sacked from another.
Oh my God, Wayne Rooney! Did you? I mean, I don't think we need to go too much into
I know,
it,
but you see what he's been up to again today. He just cannot help himself.
What's he done?
He's been caught bringing Doris back to his house in Plymouth.
Well, hang on, he's been photographed bringing. But listen, so
it's not a granny again, is it?
No.
I don't know. She's got long red hair, so who knows? But listen, I'm one of Wayne Rooney's biggest admirers. I really am.
Me
I admire
too.
a lot of things about him, but at this point, you have to question his intelligence.
Yeah.
How many times has somebody taken a photo of that lad in a situation he shouldn't be in?
I know. It's just.
I mean, and by the way, so the whoever's taking the photo, it's not the girl in the photo because it's pretty much the back of her head. So there's obviously been someone else there taking the photo. You know,
he gets caught weekly, doesn't he?
It's
not
crazy.
even about being caught. It's just about, mate.
Do you know what's going to happen with that boy? And I hope it doesn't.
Years old.
You know what's going to happen with him? His wife is going to finally say, you know what?
I think so too. Yeah.
And you've made me look a prick too many times. I'm going to take half the money. And
you don't even
she'll go and take that. He then won't have access to his kids like every day and like they do joint custody and all that.
I mean, his kids
and he will spiral,
They're not
and a big downward spiral is where you can see that happening if he's not careful. And I hope that really don't happen to him because I've heard a few people say that I don't know if he's got a drink problem, but he drinks a lot. And
you can see just by looking at him, the lad
he doesn't look healthy, does he? He's not looking healthy.
No.
He's not looking.
Putting a lot of weight.
Do you know what? It's funny when I see Waz. I actually feel a bit sad when I see him now.
Yeah. Not when you just see him, but when you see this silly shit, it's like, mate.
Yeah, when I see him, I feel like with the weight, the thing. It looks like to me there's a man who's like not struggling, but I don't know. He looks to me like he's a boozer, and I don't know if he is. Like, I could be completely wrong here. Like I say, I hope it's not the case. And I hope he does sort himself out, but or maybe him and his wife got that relationship where that is okay. But you can see the end of it all, how it could look for him quite quickly, and I think it could be.
Well, we've seen it before, haven't we?
Never get another manager's job. He's lost all his money.
He won't get another manager's job after this. After Plymouth, he won't get another manager.
Never. He'll never manage ever.
When you're getting pasted 4-0 by a Frank Lampard team, you know you're having a really bad time.
Good point.
He'd be lucky to get a coaching
listen.
job.
Yeah, I think we're all big fans of Wayne. Like Wayne Rooney, everything he's accomplished is unreal. And it's
how's Gerrard when Aletti fact this year, Tone? Have you seen? Do you follow?
I don't think he's doing too good either. The last I saw with Gerrard was probably a couple of months ago now, so I have no idea whether his results have improved. But he was basically having a load of Saudis saying they don't want him there, and that's not a good situation to be in.
They wanted Frank Lampard or Paul Scholes.
They wanted Frank
Lampard and Scholes.
I thought you were being serious then, and then I realised how ridiculous that was that you just said. Because nobody's better than Stevie Gerrard. But no, I don't know, mate. And like a couple of months ago, he wasn't doing too good. But I can honestly say I don't even know who the team is that he manages. And
no,
so God, I definitely don't look out for the scores. But yeah, I think he's only got a few months left before he can leave and keep that tax-free money.
Yeah.
So what is it? 3 years they have to be over there?
Yeah, correct. Jordan Henderson couldn't hack it, could he?
He couldn't hack it, no, and then he
captain of Ajax now, though,
and shit the bed there. Yeah, but he's not doing well, though, is he?
No, apparently he is. He's. I just read a nice article on him in the Athletic, basically that he's become like the face of the rebuild of the club, and they really like him there, and he's the captain. So he actually, yeah. So and apparently he's really influential in the club, where the club is very, very happy with him, and actually the time he gives to youngsters, and he's really taken Ajax on board with him, which actually it was a really, if anyone should read it, actually it's in the Athletic. It was a really, really good article.
Yeah, well, I mean, his main strength is definitely his leadership skills. Technically, he was a brilliant player, but he was never amazing at any one thing. He was just technically brilliant, but his leadership skills. That's it doesn't surprise me to hear that, because
very underrated player when he kind of was one.
He was underrated. He was like a Michael Carrick,
Yeah. Also, yeah,
he was like
I don't think he was as good as Michael Carrick, but yeah.
But what I'm saying is, he went under the radar. He was underrated. He got on with his stuff. He didn't really care about the limelight.
But the answer is, to be honest, it's funny. Like we say, underrated. You can't be a shit centre midfielder and win what he won.
Yeah.
He's actually a truth.
No, but you can be an underrated centre midfielder and win.
That's what I mean. But I mean, like people say, "Nah, he's crap" or whatever. You actually can't. A central midfielder, you can't be a shit one.
You can't be a crap player and win what he wants.
Yeah, he's got a league title.
No.
Yeah, no matter where you play in a team like that, you can't be a bad player and win what he wants.
No, you might be able to get a right back that gets away with it or something like that. But a central midfielder of where he is.
I'm going
to say Jimmy Traore.
I'll give you. I was going to say.
Yeah, but he didn't win what Jordan Henderson won though. He won one.
No, he won
a European Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, for me, if you're going to put players like that, do you remember that left back for United, that Alex Butler that won a league title and won like an FA Cup?
Yeah, but he never played though, did he?
But he's still got to get a medal. I mean,
he's like Luke Chadwick's got a medal, but he never actually played.
But he's still got more. He's still got more league titles.
Wait. Who's that City goalie?
Scott Carson.
Scott Carson. He's won everything under the sun, that fella.
I know. He's actually got the best deal in football. He just gets paid 30 grand a week just to turn up to training.
Not bad.
Imagine what a job that is. Scott Carson's got the best job in the world.
Scott Carson was a decent goalie back in the day.
What was Scott Carson's famous for?
Champions League final.
What's that?
2005 Champions League final bench, wasn't he?
Yeah, no, Scott. Yeah, he played for Liverpool, Scott Carson. Yeah,
what was he famous for, though?
What was he famous for?
Winning. Well, what he is famous for is winning everything under the sun and never playing for Man.
No. What was his biggest cock up in football?
Oh, England. Was it England?
Yeah, England versus Croatia, where we didn't qualify for the World Cup or the Euros.
That was old Wally with the bully, wasn't it?
Wally with the bully. I was at that game.
Old Steve McLaren. Was you really?
Yeah, I was at that game.
Peter Crouch scored for England that night, didn't he?
It's one of the only few games of England that I went to. I don't even know why I went. It was a qualifier. I've never been to too many qualifiers. I've been to a few World Cup and World Cups, but not that. But I actually went to that night, and we went out that night. Did we lose 3-2 or something?
3-2 or 2-1 or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, he went down on the ball, didn't it? Went under him, didn't it?
Yeah.
He was at fault for all the goals, I think, wasn't he? And it was it. It was pretty much the end of his career until he popped up back at City and won everything.
I know.
$1.5 million a year.
He also looks about 52 years of age, doesn't he?
He went
probably is. He probably is. He must be touching 40.
Oh, easy.
He
He's
must
got to
be.
be over
He's
40.
over 40.
He's got to be over 40.
I don't know. He can't be over 40.
Fabianski's 40.
Yeah, but Fabianski's a different animal, isn't he?
I bet he's
He's a
44.
different animal.
No, he can't. He can't be much.
39.
No, he can't be
No.
much older than me.
He's 39.
Late
39.
30s.
He looks.
He's 30 now.
He looks 50, doesn't he?
He certainly does.
You'd think he'd look unbelievable, wouldn't you, with that City money and not having to play for the last 10 years?
Going back really quickly to people who look older. You know, we just said Rooney looks how he looks. Rooney looked 30 when he was 15.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm sure lifestyle.
Have you seen
not
that
helping
Patrice
the
Evra clip where he
situation.
said that?
Did he?
Have you seen it this week? I thought that's where you were coming from.
No. I mean,
Patrice
I
Evra
remember.
said when I went, he
remember
said
seeing
people.
him.
He said he's got that African age, Rooney. He said he's one of them players. He said,
Is
let me
that
tell
what
you,
he
he was
said?
30 when he was 15. He said he was 15. He said, but he was 30, 100%. He said he's probably
know what,
70
though?
odd years of age now.
One of my my oldest mate in the world, Stephen Rooney. He's Wayne Rooney's cousin. When we were about 15, 16, I remember him telling us, "Oh, Wayne's going to play for Everton." And I remember me and my mate Paul and Joseph and Ray and all that. We were like, "Yeah, sure he is, Steve." And it was fucking Wayne Rooney he was talking about. So he
That's
definitely
unbelievable, isn't
wasn't 30 because he was Stephen's older than me and he was younger than us. But no, I mean, but going back to it though, as I say, I'm sure his lifestyle didn't help him, but
No.
he's naturally always going to look older than what he actually is because he always has done.
You seen his oldest
Yeah,
son?
exactly.
He's in the United Academy. Apparently,
Kai.
yeah, he's one of the top players in the United Academy.
Who's that? His son?
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
The eldest
Yeah.
one, Kai, I think he's a very good player, apparently.
Oh, okay.
I've seen a
Good-
few
good
clips
on
of
him.
him, though. His shooting's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He's a striker, I
Have you-
think.
Remember that video I sent of Rooney's trophy cabinet?
That's
in
unbelievable, isn't
at
it?
his house.
Yeah.
Actually, have
It's
you seen
big enough.
have you seen Rooney's gaff? It's unbelievable. You would never think Rooney would have the house that he's got. It's really
like a-
tastefully done. It is
country estate.
absolutely
That's probably his
beautiful.
missus, isn't it?
Yeah, like obviously, whoever the interior designer or them, whatever, like, listen, they've got to okay it. So obviously, it's there. But I've got to say, they've got great taste because that house is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. I've seen it. They won that documentary. Did you watch that Amazon documentary?
That was it. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
absolutely gorgeous. That house. I thought it was really, really beautiful. I was quite shocked at that. I didn't know what they'd live in, but I didn't expect it to be that big. It's like huge, and it's on acres, isn't it?
You got to love it. I love all those documentaries. The BBC have actually just done another blinding documentary on Alex Ferguson called Sir Alex that I just watched.
Oh, I wanna watch
you know,
that.
I was trying to
you seen it yet,
download
Sam?
that for the flight. You know, is it good?
That's phenomenal. I mean, when you look back now at just the achievements of what that guy did, like building 3 different teams. The one thing I actually learned about him yesterday, which was pretty amazing, and I never knew this, was did you know that he led Scotland in the World Cup in 1986?
Yeah.
I didn't know that, and that was all because.
Oh yeah, I knew it's got man. You forget it though, but obviously he was Aberdeen first, wasn't he?
Did you know the backstory behind why that happened? So
No.
So Jock Stein was the Scotland manager.
Yes.
And they were under such pressure to get into the playoffs for the World Cup. Jock Stein was Ferguson's idol. And because of obviously everything that he'd done in Scottish football and that he'd taken the first, he won the Champions League with Celtic with 11 Scottish players that were all born.
The Lisbon Lions.
They were all born within 10 miles of Celtic Park.
Yeah.
So he was obsessed with Stein anyway. He was assisting Jock Stein in Scotland at the time just to try and see what he could learn from him. And in the final match when they drew, I can't remember who it was with, but in order to qualify for the playoffs, Jock Stein fucking had a heart attack at the end of the game and died. Literally at the end of the game.
I didn't know that.
I knew he died during a game, but I didn't realize it was that.
It was literally at the end of that game when Scotland qualified for the playoffs to get to the World Cup. He fucking dropped dead of a heart attack in the stadium in front of Ferguson. And was carried off. I
never knew that story at all.
Yeah, and they show it and they talk about it in this documentary. And Ferguson, obviously went on from there, but just what a man. And just like the fact that every time he had an adversary in the Premiership, like that someone tried to change, he would come back and defeat them. Like it talked about how obviously the Mark Robbins goal saved his career, and he kind of went on from there. Then Wenger came in, Wenger disrupted things, and he came back and he trounced Wenger. And then a few years after that, Mourinho.
He was literally never defeated by anyone, was he?
Yeah, correct.
Even Jose.
Yeah,
even Jose. Yeah.
And then after that, and then he built that Champions League winning team.
And Man City.
And then Man City. Correct. So, yeah, great. Highly recommend that. Great documentary to watch.
Yeah,
we're going to finish up there.
Yeah.
I think that's a good spot to finish, and we're going to go and try and find it. We will try and catch up this week. Obviously, we've got lots more football. To everyone listening, I'm back on the 6th, which is a Monday, I believe. I think it is, but it's so we're going to have to work out when we're doing this. But obviously, everyone listen to it. I hope you have a happy New Year.
Yeah, happy New Year, everybody.
Have a couple of drinks tomorrow. I've got to say, I've been watching the football, drinking beers again. I've got to say, I feel absolutely horrendous after a few days on the beer. I've got to say, get me back to LA with my little cold plunge, bit of sauna, and bit of breakfast watching football, and not doing these podcasts at 9:30 at night.
Shots?
Yeah, turmeric and ginger, and just get me back to that little. I'm all right in that life. I'm no good being released into booze and pubs and things like
we're
that.
Too old for it.
I get too old for it. I just, you know what it is? I'm just an idiot. I get too carried away. I can't go down there and watch one game. I've got to watch 4 games, and I've got to drink from 5 till 12, like with a 7-hour drinking window. So it's starting to take its toll. I've got to be honest with you. So I'm going to bed. They're in the other room. I'm not in all the good books.
What time is it there now, son?
It's 20 to 10 at night.
Well, hopefully the kids get better and that you can enjoy the rest of the trip.
Yeah, they've been very good because they've been told they've got to be quiet because I didn't want to leave the room. So they're in the other room. So I'm gonna let them get on with it. But I will see you all in the new year. And
Happy New Year, lads.
Happy New Year, guys.